Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Is
you're
it
a little
better?
bit digital, but I'll go ahead and do a quick introduction here before we get rocking and rolling, and we'll let Jessica take off with this. Last night we had a little conversation about the opportunities that are presenting itself with the 90-day game plan. We had some massive rank advancements this weekend. I know that of at least, I know Jillian made executive. Congratulations again, Jillian. And you rocked that out. I'm sure you needed Brian's help to make that happen, but we'll award you the commendation for that. So anyway, it's really good, you guys. And I know that the second week of February is going to be launch week for Isagenix Corporate. So plan any launch parties and stuff like that you can at that time. There are some good things going on this week. I can tell because I can see the volume happening. That means that, you know, we're the thing that we get hit, and I will say we, because as a team, one of the things that I kind of hear the grumblings about is, you know, is what we're doing duplicatable. And I know it's duplicatable because every week, whether we do the incentives or we don't do the incentives, overall our team is growing. You know, we get some little dips here and there, but overall we grow as a team. And I think that speaks for itself, obviously. So congratulations on everybody for doing that. And make sure that you're recognizing, especially, I mean, I think you should do it all the time, but especially during this next 90 days, recognize your people that become consultants. If they become consultants, if they become manager, they become director, recognize them. Put them in, I don't care what pages you put them in. Put them in every page that you know that's related to Isagenix and throw it on their homepage if they're cool with it. But make sure that you're recognizing them. You know, find a nice picture, you know, not something that they wouldn't like, right? Posted. You don't want to find one of those. But, you know, find something that they like and post that picture and recognize them and tell them, you know, hey, look, you did a great job. And because that's important. These first steps to consultant are what it's all about. I mean, if you can imagine, if you can make a consultant once a month, that's 12 consultants a year, right? I mean, so basically you're becoming a new executive every year, over and over and over again, if all you're making is one consultant a month. So keep that in mind as to the power of making that happen. And that's first step to consultant, and then that step to manager are huge, huge, huge steps. So make sure that you're doing it. If you see somebody in your downline because of ISAPulse that has rank advanced, reach out to their person that sponsored them. And if that person that sponsors them either isn't engaged, isn't interested, or just doesn't want to do it, then do it for them, okay? They're part of your downline. They're part of our downline. And, you know, I don't have to say this to you guys, but I would tell it to in the regular room, is that if you didn't want to do it, send it to me and I'll do it, right? But I just want everybody to make sure that that's happening because that's so important. I don't know if I don't really want to beat up the horse about the incentives and stuff like that. I just want you guys to make sure that you continue doing that. I know Jessica's got a lot of great information to cover here. So I'm going to let her take it away. Jessica she's here in Arizona. And she was actually one of the first downline from April and I that made executive. So she's been doing that. She's a very, very busy lady. She's got, she basically runs or helps run the restaurant that her parents own here in town. And it's a very nice steakhouse. So if you're here locally and you want to go someplace good to eat, Ferguson, this is where I took your brother to. So we brought them there, and Jessica tried to fill us up with cake and pie and stuff at the end. And I think she was trying to get pictures so she could put it on Facebook, and we threw blankets over her head and ate it anyway. So, but it was,
I didn't take it.
well, we ate some of it. So it was good. But anyway, so Jessica, with that, I'll let you take it over, and let's make this next 6 weeks something that really, really works for us all.
All right, awesome. Thanks for the introduction. That was really cool. So everybody, my name is Jessica. I'm actually personally enrolled underneath April, and I'm really kind of nervous about this because it's my first Zoom call, so bear with me. But we all got to start somewhere, and today is my first call. So I may look down at my paper here and there just because I want to stay on track. I often like to tend to ramble. on and not get to the point. So basically today, this call is going to be about on 6 weeks to executive. I found this website through a friend of mine, and I thought it would go perfect with our 90-day game plan. So we all know what executive is. Executive is building two equal sides. You want to get to make yourself executive, and then with that being said, it's 5 left, 5 right, okay? So this website is actually Holly DeMont. She is an Isagenix millionaire. I think she is the 90th. Brent, do you know for sure? I think she's the 90th Isagenix millionaire, and she rocks. This website that I found is awesome. There's so many great useful tools on here. And like I said, I think this is going to go awesome with our 90-day game plan. So I'm just going to go over the first week. And I think from here on out, Brent, if you want to follow week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5, and week 6 on our other calls, I don't know if is that something you'd like to do and continue with? Can you hear me?
Sorry, I muted myself. And that's what we need to do. So if you would go over week 1 and week 2, just to kind of give us a preview of week 2, just so everybody knows what's going on. But this is in line with the other stuff that we're doing. So.
Okay, I'm prepped for week 1, but I mean I'll go into week 2. I just haven't.
You're doing great.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so I'm gonna share the website right now. Hold on one second. Okay, can everybody see the website?
Right now it's a blank screen. Oh, there we go.
Is it on? Okay,
yep,
awesome. Up. Okay, so again, this is Holly DeMont's page, and this is basically where she sends a lot of her people, and this is her way of getting her people to Crystal Executive. So
go ahead and announce the website a couple of times so that everybody knows how to find it.
Okay, so it's isa-biz.com. So that's the actual website. All right, so I'm going to go into week 1. And week 1 just basically breaks it down for you, the things that you should be following, the things you should be doing. Right here it says week 1, watch the 15-minute wellness webinar with Holly. So basically what this is, if you click on the link, I'm not going to do it because I don't want to click back, but what it is it's just basically asking you to find your vision. So with that being said, it asks like, what is your ideal body look like? What does your day look like? What's holding you back from doing this? If time and money were no consequence, what would you be doing? So kind of just gets into your personal vision and just painting that vision inside of your head so that you can follow the training and follow how to get to Crystal Executive. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. So the next link is just basically watching the Crystal Manager video. And the Crystal Manager video is just explaining again how to get to Crystal Manager. We all know how to get there, and with this company and the amazing reset that they have for us, it's just the you plus 2, them plus 2. So it's just a video explaining how to get to Crystal Manager. And then again, with the reset being, you can get that $250 bonus, which is awesome. So that's what that is. And then basically watch the comp training webinar. The comp training webinar is just basically understanding compensation plan. So for when I first started Isagenix, I didn't really get the compensation plan. I had to actually keep reading it over and over in my head to completely understand it and wrap it around my head that you can actually make money when you're sleeping. I think that's the most brilliant thing ever. And Jim Coover's website, or Jim Coover's compensation training, is amazing too. So that's basically what this is. Do you want me to click on it?
I don't think so. Not right now. If we want to come back to it, we will. Yeah,
because if I click on it, it's hard to get back. So that's basically what that is. That's just saying watch the compensation training plan. So just making sure that you're understanding the compensation plan. So the next one is watch the Isogenics Vision with Kathy Coover. That's on Isogenics Vision or isogenicsbusiness.com. So that's just making sure that you're understanding. Actually, I can click on it. Hold on one second.
The importance of this stuff, you guys, is to realize that you do not have to recreate the wheel. All right. So it's here, right? And this is all on Isogenics. I mean, this is Isogenics' site. So the information's here, and Jessica's going to go through it, and we're going to continue to go through it. But just know that this isn't something that you got to go, oh my gosh, how am I going to do this? Or how am I going to explain it to somebody else? It's really important to recognize that you can just share a little bit of information with somebody and they can get it. And if they don't get it, then we can have more conversations, right? We can do three-way calls. We can do all that. So.
Right. So yeah, so this is just basically the vision, and this is the training part that Kathy offers here. So share Isogenics the right way. What is compliant? What is not? Which Isogenics pack is right for you? I think that's just basically designing the right pack to meet the person's goals that you're signing up. And then obviously you can see the rest of the links down. So if you just want to kind of mess around back here too, there's some great info. But like Brent said, don't reinvent the wheel just because of the fact you don't have to. All the tools are here. You have to use them. So now let me click back to that. I don't like all this clicking stuff.
Yeah, I know. It's okay. It takes a little bit of time, but you're doing fine.
Okay.
There's the website, guys. isobiz.com.
All right, so let's go back to week 1. Okay, so next, join the calls, Monday calls. So obviously the calls are going to be with us. They're not going to be with Holly. Those calls aren't even up. She doesn't even do those anymore off this website. I tried getting on one of them, but just join the calls. The calls are basically for us to learn a lot of stuff through Brent, through all of us, just give each other tips and things that have worked for us and things that haven't worked for us. And that's the thing that I like about this one team. I love the fact that we can all come together and just help each other out. That's awesome. So the next task is complete the start your why section. So this is just basically starting your why. This will fuel your passion, your desire, your soul, your purpose in your heart and your business is all around your why. And the biggest thing is I ask myself is, what is my why? I really know what my why is. And a lot of people may answer it's money. And of course, extra money is always great, but I don't know. I personally feel that money is not meaningful. That's not really your why. It's how the money will change your life. Like, how is the money going to help, change your life with being able to do what you want to do when you want to do it? To me, that is awesome. A lot of people may say it's because I hate my job, and it's not so much your job. It's how you want to spend your time rather than doing your job. What is it that you'd rather do instead of going to work? Some people may say it's your kids, because one of my biggest reasons with this is my kids. And I guess the biggest thing is for that is you have to look deeper into what do you want to do with your kids? How is this going to help you with your kids and, spending more time with them? Is it that you're going to never miss anything, any of their school functions? Is it going to be because you can splurge on them and not have to worry about, taking them on vacation to Disneyland and thinking twice because their prices of their drinks and food are overly priced? So just make sure you understand your why. Your why is huge, and that is what's going to motivate you in your business. So
just click on that Road to Crystal Executive link, please.
Okay.
I thought when I clicked on it before, it gave us some.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is the master the system with practice. So this is just basically I like it at the top too, where it says goal date to be completed. This is a great system to follow, and this is going to get you from consultant to Crystal Executive. So at every single one of the top of these sheets, it says goal date to be completed. So put your goal date. What is it that you want to be consultant by? When is it that you want to be crystal manager by? So if you want to print these out, I think these are on isogenicsbusiness.com. You can actually print these out, but they also are in your 90-day game plan book too. And if you don't have a 90-day game plan book, you can download it. I think it's isogenicsbusiness.com.
It's actually, the easiest way to get it is to go to www.90, and that's 90day, DAY, GP, as in gameplan.com. So 90daygp.com.
Okay. So this is just a great way to follow, to get yourself to Crystal Executive. You got to give yourself goals and be intentional. Don't get sidetracked. Don't give up, because you guys, this, like everybody says, this isn't a get rich thing. It takes time. There's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears involved in this. There's been days where I've thrown my hands up in the air and I said, I quit. I can't do this anymore. This is stressing me out to the point of no return, because this is that's what part of being an entrepreneur. It's the roller coaster. You're going to have your ups and you're going to have your downs. And unfortunately, you're gonna rock it out, and you're gonna be Crystal Executive, and you're gonna have, reached every single star, and you're gonna be walking around that stage. So it's gonna be awesome. So just stay focused on getting to Crystal Executive. And then also you have all the new cycle bonuses too that Isogenics is offering. So there's a lot of money involved in this too, which is great. So let's see here. All right, I'm going to click back. Great, here we go. Okay. So next is just add 10 people to your follow-up section of your notebooks. This is 10 people who have conversed with and you've given a tool to look at. So follow-up is huge. Huge. I cannot express it enough. There's been times that this person, I don't even think I'm friends with this person anymore, and she called me like 2 weeks ago, and I'm not going to put her name on blast right now, but she's probably on this call. But she is on her way to Crystal Manager, and this is somebody that I thought would never, ever join me, and I didn't think she was following me. And she, like I said, she's on her way to Crystal Manager, and she could just punch herself for not joining earlier, especially because she's earning all these bonuses, and she's pretty much getting her products paid for, and she feels and looks amazing. So follow-up is huge. Make sure you're adding 10 people to your follow-up section of your 90-day game plan. That's really important. So next is basically a journal. And to me, I like to wake up in the morning and give gratitude. I like to write down 10 things that I'm grateful for. This has definitely helped me in overcoming the obstacles of wanting to quit and thinking this isn't going to work, because there are days that you wake up the next day and you're like, is this real? Is this going to just be over after all the hard work that you put into this? But you have to stay focused, and you have to you do have to give gratitude, and make sure you're writing down your daily gratitudes, because gratitude attracts abundance. And I remember that saying because it's so true. So the next thing is just a goal. I think our goal for this week, and I think we should totally try to work on this, is becoming a consultant. If you're not a consultant, which meaning you're at one person left, one person right, and if you're already a consultant, making 2 more consultants. I think that's the goal for this week that we should all really try to focus on. It's totally doable. Hit up your follow-up list, because I can guarantee you there's somebody that's been watching, and if you just say the right thing, you can get them signed up. And like I said, like Brent said, incentives go a long way too. So offering them incentive that if they share with another person, that you can basically get their products paid for. So does that sound good? Can everybody make 2 consultants this week?
I think it's a fantastic goal, honestly, Jessica. I mean, and even if we just say, hey, look, can everybody make a consultant by the time launch week starts, right? So the second week of February, because if everybody can make those small steps, because if you look at it and you go, oh my gosh, I've got to make all these consultants, then it may sound daunting, but if you look at it from the aspect that you think, okay, look, I've got 6 weeks to make 10, right? If you had 0, right? So if you had no consultants, you'd have 6 weeks to make 10. So really you're talking about just slightly more than one consultant a week if you kind of break it down that way. And if you just need one to make executive, and I won't say who that might be, Steve, but the but the reality is that, get out there and try to incentivize. And when I say incentivize, I'm not always talking about money, guys. I want you to make sure that that's understood. It's not all about money. It's incentivizing them in finding their why, right? And I'm not the person, right? I think you guys know me well enough. I'm not the person that's going to sit here and have a deep conversation with somebody trying to find out all the whys of their world. But I'm willing to sit and talk with somebody and discuss what would make a little bit of a difference in their life, and sometimes you might find that is a small amount as far as money or as far as time goes, right? And I think, Jessica, you said you made a great comment, and that is that people want more about their time than they want about money, right? It's more about, if you got all this cash, right, then you don't have a plan for it, then you're still going to be bored to death and you're still not going to be happy. So you really have to know what you want to do with your time first, and then figure out how much money you really need to make that happen.
Right. Exactly. Great point, Brent. So we're going to go into week 2 now. Week 2 is just basically, the first thing is training. Listen to Lynn Hagedorn. Lynn Hagedorn is another Isogenics millionaire. I really like her. She's awesome. She does some great training sessions at events. So basically, this is Rocket Resources. I'm going to click on this. So this is the system that she teaches her team to follow and the resources that she gives them. So you could also try this as well. I don't know if her webinars work or not.
Click on the master basics.
Okay. I think that's the same thing that Kathy Coover.
I think that's Kathy's, right?
This is Kathy's. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the same thing that she teaches on Lynn Hagedorn too. So you can watch actually, I think this is Holly DeMont's. Yeah, this is Holly DeMont's video. This is just basically her saying, find your why.
But if you go up to the top, step 1, step 2, step 3, and you don't have to click on them right now, obviously, but if you just look at the different steps, it really gives you a pretty easy layout as to what, steps you need to go through in order to duplicate what you're trying to do. I mean, everybody here that's on this call has a good idea about how to make it work. It's just different people, like maybe Holly touches you and she gets you inspired, or she says something that makes sense to you, or or Kathy or Jessica or anybody says something that, like, oh, I can connect with that, and that's what you really need to find.
Right. Okay, so let's get back to this screen here. Okay. Here we go. So choose 2, amplified network marketing calls, listen to. So that's David Woods. He runs a bunch of the amplified network marketing calls. He's a great speaker. He actually is the one that runs UIA. He's the speaker for UIA. And if you don't know what UIA is, it's University in Action. There's one that's going to be happening here in Phoenix, March. What are the dates? Do you know? Sometime in March. But he's an awesome speaker. I'm going to click on this. I don't believe you can get on his calls for free because I think he charges for his calls. But he's an awesome speaker. He basically tells it the way it is. So this is his website. This is a great resource to check into as well. And like Brent said, there's going to be a lot of people that a lot of leaders that you hear about, but there's going to be certain ones that you can really, what I'm looking for. You see their vision and you can work with them as far as following their strategies on how to build your business better. And I really like listening to Lynn Hagedorn. She's awesome. And now that I found this Holly DeMont website, she's pretty cool too. So I just like her vision and I like her why. So, but a lot of people can relate to David Woods as well. Oh, shoot. No, I just went back too far. Okay. All right. The next one is watch the network marketing Mythbusters. Let's click on that. I don't even know what this is because I didn't click on it.
Yeah, don't play it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you watched that one?
No, I haven't. But some of this stuff, and you guys need to understand this. Some of this is put here for somebody who this is really set up for somebody to like literally to be handed this information. Say, look, this is how you get there. So don't feel like you've got to relearn it all or you have to watch it all, because some of it you already may have an understanding of. But look through it and see if there's stuff in here that makes sense to you, but look through it in an orderly fashion, right? Again, you don't have to be like Jillian and make executive in week 1, right? You can take some time and go through the process, and we're going to try to add 10 consultants to everyone's team. The goal should be 10 consultants to everybody's team over the course of the next 6 weeks. And it's just it's just a repetitive process of what your goal should look like using the roadmap that's laid out here that Jessica's going over.
All right, so the next one is create a vision board with your 90-day game plan and 1-year dreams and visions. So basically that's just saying create your vision board, because I'm telling you, they totally work. Put them in a spot where you're going to see it most. And when people create their vision boards, I always tell them go big, don't go small, because I remember doing a vision board actually when I was at Jill's gym not too long ago, and everybody was doing small things, me included, because you feel like it's not going to happen. But really, if you put your mind to it and set your goals, it will totally happen. I never thought that I would be where I am today, and I never thought that I would be doing this. And I put my vision into my head, and I had my vision board in front of me every day. And now my vision board just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So now I went from little houses to big mansions. So it's okay. Go big with your vision, and make sure you're doing your vision board once every 6 months is what I say. I have like 3 or 4 of them hanging in my office, and I think it's great to just look up, and it pushes and it motivates me even more just seeing the picture. So next again is join Monday calls. So Tuesday calls or Monday calls, whenever we're going to have Team Shady calls. So just make sure you're getting on the calls. And task here, it says schedule 5 3-way calls with your sponsor and upline. So 3-way calls are awesome. I've really been trying to enforce them a little bit more. I've been trying to enforce phone calls, period, because I think a phone call goes a long way. You call somebody and, welcome them. For instance, it's their first week and they're, hesitant on if these products are going to work or not. You can just call them and reassure them that, they do work and you're there for them, and you have this amazing group to help you get to your goals as well. They're going to be like, wow, these people really care about me. There really is a wonderful, wonderful support team. So, and I think all of you can relate to that. So add 10 people to your follow-up list, celebrate each one. So I love celebrating my people. I love making a big announcement on them because it's huge. What they did to Rank Advance is, it's a lot of hard work, and it is blood, sweat, and tears again. It's time that you're taking away from your family to focus on your business, and it's going to pay off in the long run. But celebrate your people. So celebrating your people is just going to get them to want more. So throw something on Facebook. Congratulations. This person worked their butt off and made Crystal executive, or whatever it is that they made you. Sometimes a little gesture as far as giving them flowers to them or sending them a gift card. That also is nice as well. And I tend to do those things for my team as well. So journal every day, 10 things you're grateful for. Again, just, attitude of gratitude attracts abundance, and it's so true. So just be writing down your gratitude. The next step is goal become Crystal Manager by helping 2 of your personally enrolled become consultant. So now basically week 2 is having your 2 consultants that you made this coming up week. You want to get them to share with 2 people. So now you want to become Crystal Manager or you want to make 2 more consultants if you're already a consultant. Do you want to add anything to that, Brent?
No, I mean, you're right on track. It's just, we've got to, again, it's about consistency and about repetitiveness. And you look at the people that are on this call, because I was just scanning through to see who else was on here, seeing if Dan was awake. He looks like he's very comfortable. Is going through the call and realizing that the people that are here, oftentimes, not always, but are always here. And the people that are always here are going to be the ones that are going to succeed. I mean, it's I don't mean it in a spiteful way to the people that don't get on. It's just that you would take time to figure out how to listen to somebody else, right? I'm sitting here listening to the comments that you're making, Jessica, and I'm going, yeah, those are great comments, and I'm learning by being here. So it's important, guys.
Yeah. So that's just week 1 and a little bit of week 2. But I think for us this week, our biggest challenge is to make 2 more consultants. And I think it's completely, totally doable. Hit up your chicken list, hit up the people that, you've been wanting to follow up with. Another thing that I've been doing too is, and I'm sure all of you have these, but on Facebook, there's those community pages. I've been posting in those community pages like crazy. I try to do at least 1 post a day. There's people that say that they're interested and they'll message you and they won't get back to you, but you friend request them and ask them if you can throw them an XHP, and obviously let them simmer in there. And once they simmer in there and they keep seeing those posts, they're going to get back to you, just like you do with everybody else. But those are some great groups to, find people, I guess, if you feel like you're out of people to approach. I've signed up a lot of people out of, like, for us here, there's Gilbert Connections, there's Greenfield Higley Connections. Those are all websites on Facebook that are community pages. So example of community page. So like just a community page. How do I find the community pages? So I don't, for us out here, I actually found them through friends, but I would just, I don't know, Google whatever city you're in, because I know when I lived in Franklin, Wisconsin, there's a website or a page called Franklin People. So
Jessica, go to your, if you don't mind, go to your screen share and go to Facebook, go to your Facebook page.
Go to my Facebook page?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
If you don't want to do it, I can bring mine up.
Well, I'll try.
So that you can show what a community page looks like, how to find them.
Okay. Let's see here.
Should just be, if you just type it in your URL that's on that you got that 6 weeks to Chris, there you go. Everybody write down Jessica's password when she types it.
Why is it freezing? Oh, shoot. Okay. Oh, there's Sarah. Hi, Sarah. Okay, what did you want me to go to?
So go to show people how to find the community.
Okay. All right. So for instance, you would just go in your search box here. Oh,
hang on a second. I'll pull up the options and annotate.
Okay. Okay, so as you can see right here, just by putting in Gilbert, which is a city that we live in Arizona, you can see just putting up Gilbert, you can see Gilbert Yard Sale, Gilbert Friends, Gilbert Online Sale, Barter and Trade, Gilbert Friends. These are all closed groups that you can advertise in, whether it's you're selling something or you're, sharing your love for Isogenics. So for instance, for me, I'm going to go to this right here. Because I posted in here today, so maybe I can find mine. And Teresa's right. You do have to make sure that you're following the rules, because there's some pages that won't let you advertise for your products in here, but you just got to read over the rules.
And the other important thing to realize is that when you're typing in something that you want to be involved with, the pages that have stuff for sale are fine. And I know that there's been some people who've had some great success in them, but I would tell you to look for pages that you have something tangible to offer, right? You have a value that you can add to that page. If you're type in your profession up there, right? And find other pages that are related to the profession that you have, or to interests that you have. If you like old cars, or if you like health or running or something else like that, then type that in and get engaged in the page. Where I found the success in these pages is finding pages that I can be involved in the conversation, and then that conversation leads to something, right? Like I'm part of Marathon Maniacs. And so it's a running group, right? And these people run massive numbers of marathons. Now, obviously, I don't have any desire to run, 10 marathons on a weekend, like some of these people get involved in, like multiples like that. But my thing is that I can communicate and I can discuss and talk about running and a passion for running and trail running, and, throw a picture of a trail ran up or something like that. And then all of a sudden that generates conversation. So you become a valuable part of the page. So those are really important ways to get engaged with these Facebook pages. What are you trying to pull up, Jessica? Your screen's gone kind of blank. Did we lose you? Hang on. I'm trying to see if Jessica's still on. We might have lost her. Does anybody see if she's still on I'm trying to go through the screen here
Says that she's still on.
No, her screen's blank. I'm guessing we lost her. I don't know if I can cancel her screen share. There, something did. I don't know if I did it or not, but anyway, so we'll let's open it up to some questions, right? I mean, we got everybody here. Let's kind of generate some questions of, some idea, let's go away from ideas for a minute. Let's just see if there's questions, and then let each other kind of answer those thoughts that come up. I mean, if you really break it down to the most simple version of this, all you're trying to do is create consultants, right? And I don't mean that in a flippant way. I know it's difficult, right? I mean, we're constantly in the same battle, but it's that really is what we're trying to do. And creating consultants is ultimately the key to your success. And most people, myself included, I know probably 95, I don't know, maybe even all of you guys that are on here, when you started, you had no desire to promote this product line. So realize that when you're talking to other people, when you're talking to new people, and you're trying to show them how, they may not be interested any more than you were. And that doesn't make them weird. That just makes them the same as you were when you started, right? Same as we all were. So you kind of got to think, what would somebody have been able to tell you if there was anything? And I don't know that Jill could have told me anything that would have made me want to immediately get involved from day one in network marketing. But if you stay engaged with your people and wait until their time is right, then all of a sudden they came on board. Just like Jessica was talking about, her friend that she talked to today, that all of a sudden now they want to get involved in the business, and they're like, I want to punch myself for not starting sooner. You didn't want to start sooner, right? It wouldn't have worked for you if you just started sooner. It would have been a total failure because you weren't ready for it. So just realize that that's a real important way to think. when you're talking to some of your friends is that they may not be there. And that's not weird. It just is what it is, right? Any comments on that or questions that we can kind of bring up? I may or may not be able to see your hand up thing or whatever, but if you want, just unmute yourself if you have a question. And I really, guys, I really, really, really would like to have some questions, even if they're silly questions that you might think are silly, let's get them asked, because there's somebody else on here that may want some input on that. Launch party questions, anything?
I have a question.
Who is it?
It's Jax.
Oh, hi, Jax.
Hi. I jumped in late.
That's okay.
Where all that paperwork, all those notes that she was showing, where can we find that? That's an ISA business.
Yep, that website that they put in the chat on the chat box, isabiz.com, isa-biz.com.
isa-biz.com.
Okay. And then I also wanted to ask, part of it was three-way calling.
Okay.
And considering a lot of us are like in different states and stuff, is it better to have someone that's in our group that's within our same state, or do we just go directly to our upline and just try to get? It doesn't matter. Okay.
Use the person that you think will be the best fit for the person that you have on the phone, right? I mean, whoever your person that you're talking to is, if you say, hey, look, I'm talking to somebody that's a dental hygienist, then you might want to get somebody else on the team that's a dental hygienist, and you don't have to know them right now. Just put a post, hey, is there anybody on the team that's I want to do a three-way call.
I have 2 or 3 people that are triathletes that I'm working on right now. Feel
free, holler at me.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not the only person that fits that bill. There's other people on the team that do it. There's several other triathletes that are on the team that would be happy to help out, I believe.
Okay.
Okay. Three-way calls. Let's go over that real quick. For those of you that don't know how to do it, because I've had to walk several people through it. Okay. When you call somebody, depending on what you have for a phone, whether it's an iPhone or if you've got a kid's phone, if you got one of those iPhones, or if you have a Droid, then the way it works is dial the number. When you're talking to somebody on the phone, look at your phone and you'll see some button that'll say add to call, right? So if you click add to call, and then dial the number of the next person that you're wanting to add to your call, and then when that person answers, it's best to have your call on speaker. You have your phone on speaker when you're doing it, because then you'll see a button that'll come up that'll say merge calls, and then just click that button, merge call, and then you're all on the same call, right? And the cool thing about that is that if I call Angela and I add Teresa, then Angela can call somebody and you could add them also. So you can get several different people on that if you wanted. We also still have the conference line. So if you're going to do multiple people, let me know if you don't still have the old conference number, and you can use the conference line that I've got set up, or if you want to set your own up, that's fine too. But there is a conference line that's available that I set up a while back, and it's free, so it's not like a big deal.
Hey, Brent, can you give an example of like what a three-way call would sound like? Like, what would you use that for? Just for maybe the new people.
Let's say that you don't know it. Let's say you're brand new, right? You've got a brand new associate and they're saying, hey, look, I know my friend is interested and they want to know about the business. Okay. Then let's say you're that person, Teresa, and you say, wow, this person really wants to know the business and I'm part of the conversation, but I don't know the business yet either. Right. Then what you would do is you and I would get on the call and then maybe add in, Jill, or add in somebody else to that call so that we're all 2 or 3 or 4 are on the call. So we're all learning. Another great example of that, actually my three-way calls usually come about this way. I get a phone call from somebody in your downline, Teresa, and they've got a question. And I say, okay, let's get Teresa on the phone and let's answer the question with all 3 of us, because I don't want to be answering your questions over and over again. If I can get you educated and engaged, then I know you can answer those questions.
Right.
A lot of times people send me a message, hey, can you talk to my friend so-and-so? Like if Jack sent me a question, hey, Brent, can you talk to my friend? They're wanting to do, they're a triathlete and they want to know about Isogenics. I'm going to say, fantastic. You set up the call and you add me into the call. That way we can all have a conversation. Okay? Because I want Jax to hear what I'm saying. I don't want to just, have this conversation with her friend and then all of a sudden they hang up and what's going on. And she's got to call me back and I got to tell her again and save yourself some time. All right?
Okay. Cool. Thanks.
You got it. Anybody else?
I got a question, Brent.
Who is that? Who's
It's
talking?
me, Andrea.
What's up, Andrea?
Nothing much. I have a question about how do you approach, I guess I get so focused on enrolling somebody, I don't know when to start talking the business aspect. Like when do you usually bring it up, or how far do you go when you're just kind of talking to them before you enroll? Or
The other day, I think it was Jillian that she posted a message that she had gotten from somebody, and then her response back was, hey, because they asked like a straight out question, like, hey, how much is it or something? And her response back was, well, let's get together and talk about your goals. Okay. As soon as somebody wants to talk about the price, I'm telling you, if you will get them on the phone, the conversation will go 1,000 times better. If somebody sends me a message, how much is it? Hey, I'm in my car. I'm getting ready to get in my car. Can we talk on the phone? Right? Or I can't text right now. Let's get on the phone. Get them on the phone and have the conversation about it there. As far as bringing up the business goes, and I've stolen this from Dan, so I've really just incorporated this just over the last few weeks, is Dan's comment about, because you guys, I know a lot of you have heard me say it, how, people want to know three things. What is it? How much is it? When can I get it? Now I add, when can I get it? How can I get my products for free? Right? So they want to know four things. How can I get it for free? Right? That's the fourth. So when you're talking to them, then you just ask, hey, would you be open to seeing how you can get your products paid for? And you can even say that. Most people have four questions. What is it? How much is it? When can I get it? Oh, and can I get it for free? And you can even turn it into a little joke if you want to turn it into a joke or whatever, but that can incorporate some question that they might have. And what do you mean I can get it for free? Right?
So Mike Cody just brought up a good question. He wants to know, do you feel if people are resistant to a three-way call? I don't know. I think that three-way calls are awesome. I think that they definitely help get that person enrolled. But there are some people that don't want to be on a three-way call. What is your advice, Brent, to somebody that doesn't want to be on a three-way call?
That's okay.
I mean, if they don't want to be. Does that answer your question, Mike?
I didn't hear what he said. You cut out.
She just said it. No, if they're resistant, you're a little bit digital, Jessica. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Basically, my question is, a lot of times I have people, and I've been doing a ton of this through messaging, and it seems to be kind of working. I know the power of a three-way call by getting an expert, because you're always a prophet in your own town and no one actually believes you. But when you get somebody else on the phone, then all of a sudden it's like it adds credibility to the call. My issue is, or not my issue, but I think what people wonder is, why do I have to be on a three-way call? I don't know this person you're putting on the phone. This is between us two. And I'm finding that as I'm saying, hey, I'd like to go on, I'd like to get you on a call with somebody else. I'm like, no, it's okay. Just tell me about this, or I got things to do. And then the next thing you know, it's like, I've turned them off.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. And I totally get what you're saying, Michael. I was resistant to even doing the three-way calls. If you're seeing a pattern here, the pattern is I didn't believe any of it when I started. And I've refused to believe a lot of it along the way. But the three-way call is this. You almost have to make it their suggestion, right? Hey, or it's a solution to their problem. You ask me a question. Hey, Mike, you know what? I don't have the answer for that. Wait until they're actually talking to you, right? Get them on the phone. And then when they're talking to you, then say, hey, you know what? I don't know the answer to that, but I know my buddy, I was just talking to him. He can get on the call and help us.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And if they don't, if the person that you're trying to add to the three-way call isn't available right then they're not available. It's always best to set it up in advance if you can. Right. And you can do that. I mean, I've heard some of the other, speakers, at the different events say, no, you set your three-way call up. You say, look, I'm going to call you at this hour and we're going to talk, and you already have the other person on the line with you. So when I call you up, I go, hey, Michael, how are you doing, man? I've got my friend Teresa on the call with us tonight. She's, she's real knowledgeable, and I was afraid I wouldn't know all your questions. I wouldn't know how to answer all your questions. So I've got her on the call. So let's get started. Don't even make it an issue. Don't say, is it okay? Don't say nothing. Just say, so what can I, let's talk. What are your goals? And then boom, all of a sudden you're in it.
And then the other thing is going into that, I know the introduction of the expert or the third person on the call is crucial. Can you kind of explain to me the best way to introduce somebody? Because basically, I might be the third person on the call, and in that other person's eyes, I'm the expert, but that person doesn't know that. So, like, how do you introduce the third person to the call and make them sound like they're the expert? Is there like a script that you kind of follow or something that you've done in the past?
I'm pretty unscripted, obviously. I don't really follow too much of that, but my thought is that I'm going to have you, like, let's say I'm talking to another firefighter, right? And he's a big guy and he needs to drop some pounds. And I say, hey, look, I got a buddy of mine, his name's Michael. He's a firefighter, been a firefighter for years, and he's losing weight. He's been successful. So I've had him come on the call with us, and he's here, right? It's better for me to not, like, I don't want to overplay you. And I wouldn't want anybody to overplay me. Like, the last thing I'd want somebody to go, oh, and he's this and that and that. And nobody gives a shit what your level or rank or whatever it is, right? They just want to know, can you answer their questions? Can you address their issues? Hey, Brent's, you're a triathlete, and Brent's done some triathlons, and, oh yeah, he's done some full distance stuff, right? Boom, done. If they're a triathlete and they know any terms, then they can ask the rest of them themselves, right? Oh, have you done an Ironman? Have you done a half? Have you done a this? Have you done a that, right? Those are the kind of things that they'll ask, because you don't want to overestimate their knowledge either, right? Just because they're a doctor doesn't mean they know anything about nutrition, right? Kind of that mentality. Does that answer that?
Yeah. Thank you very much. I think I got it now.
Yeah, and it's tough, Michael. I don't want to downplay your question, because I think it's important. But the reality is that three-way calls, you kind of that's why it's so important to know what the person's goals are when you're talking to them. If there's somebody that's only going to be inspired by somebody that's, they want to talk about the business, and they're not going to be inspired by anybody that's not doing really well in the business, then yeah, you might have to talk a little bit more about that person when you do the introduction. But if they're just a regular, real person, they probably just want to know, can this person answer my questions? And hey, Brent's been with Isogenics for 3 years. He's coached, tons and tons of people. And I just thought he'd be a good person to have on the call to help you out. Done. Okay. Then if you want to know more, then we can talk about more.
I was just going to put it in so that I actually just did a three-way call the other day, and it was a girl that was hesitant on giving her products a try because of course, the cost was an issue. But I actually did a three-way call with a girl that also suffered from migraines, and she shared her story with her. So just with those two relating to story, she was sold, because she heard, somebody else had such great benefits with, using these products with the migraines. So she was able, if it helped her, then hopefully it can help me. So just having the same thing in common, and using these products is, you know, a great person to get on the phone as well.
Absolutely.
So-
That's why it's important to get a similar person. Jillian, what question do you have? But if you get the same you get a person that's on the phone with that person that has that same issue, right? Because that's going to mean so much more. Go ahead, Jill.
I was just wondering if we could have people share or you share. I made my list. I have my chicken list. I have and now I'm looking at it and I am definitely a social media girl. I use my messages. I use my emails, my texts. I'm not so much a pick up the phone girl. So I would love maybe some feedback on opening lines for doing that.
If anybody else wants to pop one in, but my thing is just really that's in your head, girl. And I don't mean it in a bad way, but it's just something as you do it, because you're good at this stuff. That's why, you know, you're doing what you're doing. You're successful like you are. It's a matter of repetition. It's a matter of and sometimes I'll, to be honest, guys, I blow it on a regular basis and not get somebody on the phone soon enough, or, you know, I sit there and I try to do it. And then as soon as it goes bad, I know exactly what I did wrong. I'm like, I didn't get them on the phone. And since I didn't, you know, I was being lazy and I didn't get on the phone. And so now the deal isn't going to happen. So don't, just practice, you know, when you're getting them on the phone, just be you, right? I mean, that's the best answer I can give you. I mean, if you get on the phone and you try to sound like, you know, you're trying to sell a car or a used car from, you know, Craigslist or something, you're going to sound like crap, right? Just get on the phone and be who you are and be genuine, right? Because that's how all of you that are on here are being so successful, is because you're just genuine people. You're not trying to sell anybody anything. You just want to tell them about something that's really cool, that's really changed a lot of things about your life, right? Both physically and financially for everybody on this call. But that's what you really want to inspire, right? You're not trying to sell them anything. I tell people all the time, hey, look, I'm not going to try to sell you a shake, right? That's not my goal. My goal is not to sell you a shake. And I'm not going to try to sell you a canister of protein. That's not my goal. I'm going to tell you what the benefits are if you open up your account, and then I'll tell you what you can get, and you make your decision. I know that's kind of a goofy answer, but that's all the best I got for you, girl.
I have never cold called anybody.
I wouldn't recommend it. This is not that business.
Okay.
No.
That's my question.
Yeah, no.
So when you say you have your chicken list, what does that mean then?
Your chicken list is, you know, give me an example of and you don't have to tell a person's name, but just like, what is the person that's like the highest on your chicken list? What are they to you? How do you know them?
Where do you live in Madison? ?
How do you know
What
them?
do you mean by chicken list? Like, what do you mean what are they? Like family, friends?
Yeah, like, they're a doctor, or they somebody that, like, how do you know this person that's on your chicken list?
Oh, they're family, friends, but they own their own businesses. They dabble in network marketing.
Okay. Hey,
My custodian wants to know what a chicken list is.
Oh, okay. A chicken list is like a list of people that are part of you. You know, everybody should be making your list of a minimum of 50, right? For this next 90-day call, for this next 90 days, this next 6 weeks, whatever. And make that list up. And that list should consist of people that you think you would love to have on your team. If they would just say yes, you would love to have them on your team.
February.
So Jillian, in your situation, I'd just say reach out. If they dabble in network marketing, you've got the beautiful in. Hey,
When are you done?
Dan, I know that you deal with network marketing a little bit. I've got some questions about a business that I'm doing, and I'm hoping you could help me. People love to help other people.
So that's not what you consider a cold call then? Because that's kind of what I meant by that. Like, I have not learned how to pick up the phone and just be like, do that.
No, send them a text message. Hey, Jill, I know that you've done network marketing and stuff, and I don't know if you've been watching my Facebook, but I'm trying to do this. And I don't know if I'm doing it right or not, but I'd like to get your input. I'd like to get some thoughts from you.
Show how you can get your products paid for.
Right? And then by doing that, then you can.
I would run the whole thing.
I got to get Heidi. Hey, Heidi, can you mute your phone?
Ooh, sorry.
That's all right, girl. Thanks. When you send that message to ask for their help, then they're more inspired to help you, because again, they think they're helping you, and then you just develop a phone conversation. Right now, you start talking about, hey, look, this is what it is, and this is what I've done, and I'm just not sure I'm there yet. Oh, you've done what? You've made how much? And you're already aware. Then all of a sudden, you've engaged in this conversation. Again, it's relationships. It's another guy said it, so I'm going to say it again, and I don't want it to sound weird, but it's dating, guys. For guys, you'll get it. For girls, you guys always ruin the power of all that. But for guys, we get it, right? Dating, you got to be, you're like constantly trying to figure out what the best thing you can say is to get her to hold your hand. What are you going to say if they get her to go to lunch? It goes back to high school prom. When you're walking across, or walking over to somebody to ask them to dance. What am I going to do? How do I make this happen? And if you just walk up and cold call, hey baby, you want to dance? You're probably going to get a no. But if you walk up and say hello and how are you doing, then you may start a conversation that leads to the dance, right? And you kind of got to look at it that same way in this business, is that you've got to start a conversation, not just a cold call, knock them on the head and trying to, get them to buy your products. Let's see. Tracy Shaw, what question do you have, and why do you raise your hand? Tracy, you raised your hand. You got a question? She don't. All right, I guess she doesn't have a question.
Michael, I got something here. Can I talk? Are we there?
Who's there? Vicky.
So this is for Michael. When I'm talking to people, especially, everybody knows my husband's a firefighter. So, and this might work with you or somehow, some way, if you want to tie it into Milwaukee, but when I talk to people, I'm very, very excited about it. And I just say, half the fire department is doing that. It's running wild through the fire department, and, everybody loves it. And that says a lot, just that firefighters are doing it because they know their schedule. They know their eating habits and everything like that. So, that helps. So, you might not be there in Chicago, but you can certainly say, hey, I got friends in Milwaukee and firefighters, and it's running like wildfire down there. And, maybe just try to share it that way as well.
Okay. No, that sounds good. I like that.
Mike, who would be your chicken list now that you know what it is?
Okay. I'm still a little confused on the chicken list. To me, the chicken list are people that I would really like, but I'm afraid to talk to. Is that kind of what it is? All right. Well, I got about 100 names on my list that I'm looking at right now. And there's a couple people that I know. Well, you never know who's going to be a rock star and who's not. But there's people I think that would be really good. And some of them I've talked to already. And the price is just, they just can't handle the price initially. And I'm trying to get them to get past that, to try to make them, understand that, hey, you can actually not only pay for your product, but you can make decent money, but they can't get past the initial product. But anyways, to your question, I have a ton of names that I'm looking at. And, some people I'm just afraid to talk to, even though I know they would be really good. And I don't know why I'm just hesitant on them.
Mm-hmm. So when you're,
go ahead.
Go ahead. I was just saying, so when you're approaching these people on your chicken list, or if you're going to approach them, do you ask them first of all, I don't know who posted that before the question, but it was just basically them asking how this person would benefit with these products, whether it be energy and performance, if it's weight loss, whatever you think that they're searching for, message them and approach them that way. Say, I have a solution for you. Would you allow me the opportunity to put you in this group? And then you would obviously put them in extremely happy people or great nutrition, great results, and let them simmer in there and see other people's transformations. Just because, like I said, they simmer in there, and that kind of is where they're like, okay, I want to sign up. So that's what I do with my chicken list. Okay. And people that I'm afraid to talk to, they approach me because the group is basically what sold them with the transformations and stuff.
What I've been kind of doing, and I don't know if other people do this, but like I guess I found an old post from Brent, and so I posted that, and I don't know if you want to call it trolling or what. I kind of throw it out there, and I see who bites, and yeah, they like it or they comment, and it's like, all right, personal message them or reply, and hey, can I add you to this page? Yeah, hey, sure, whatever, fine. I have my own Facebook page that's got over 12,000 followers. It's a fire related thing. I put it out there and I got like about 20 guys that were all interested in this. Now, as I've been contacting these guys, they're all hemming and hawing and doing their thing. And I'm like, oh, it's too much money. I don't got money, So I just keep trying to, reiterate that, the price, we can work with the price. There's certain discounts. I don't want to say discounts, but we can work with that a little bit. Your health is much more valuable. So I'm trying to put these out to people. When I do that, and if they respond, that's when I go after them. I don't really want to tackle people that haven't responded yet. I'm not comfortable to do that yet.
Yeah. Well, we're at our hour, guys, and I don't want to drag us out too long. And but I like this conversation. So real quick, let's if you guys want, if somebody has to bail out, go ahead. But real quick, let's do a quick let's check your vocabulary, Michael. And I'll use you since we're kind of going back and forth. So I'm your guy. So let's have a little quick, let's keep this at like 5 minutes. So I'm your guy, you got me on the phone and I'm interested. So Michael, what's the deal with this product?
Okay, well, I talked with the fact that it's nutritional cleansing. It's not a diet. It's not a fad. This is actually detoxifying, getting all the stuff that's in your body that's actually hurting your ability to lose weight.
How much is it?
Well, there's several different cost ranges. It's depending on what you're comfortable with. Depending on the system that you want, we can kind of look at that. What are your goals?
I need to lose like 15 pounds. Okay, I got a test coming up.
All right, okay. Well, we got a program for that. What we'll do is let me send you this. I usually will send a link or I'll send a picture of the 30-day system, the pacemaker, and the President Pack. And I say it breaks down about $10 to $12 a day, or is up to $20 a day, depending on what you want. And
what's it going to cost me a month?
A month? No, it doesn't. Month, you're just buying your own product as you would go to the grocery store, as you would go out to eat. You're spending money like that. Instead of funneling that money into those things, you're going to go and you're going to put it into product that's going to help you make your body healthier.
Yeah, but I know, but how do I buy it? Like I want to buy something to get started. So how much does it cost me to get started?
Here's the great thing about that. You're not actually buying it from me. You're buying it from yourself. Once I enroll you into the system, then you're able to purchase the product as you need it.
Why can't I just buy it from you?
We can do that if you want, but that way you're set up and you can personally pick out exactly what you want on your website at your leisure, whenever you want, in the middle of the night, during the day, whenever.
Right. So I want to start. How much is it?
Okay. It's you're looking at roughly initial cost about $300.
$300.
Like I said, it's about $10 a day. You're going to McDonald's, right? You're usually stopping off at work. Right.
Let's go ahead and stop. Let's just take a couple quick notes on that. Okay. First, you're like at the defensive the whole time, right? You're constantly answering. You're constantly giving answers instead of asking questions, right? And I'm not sure if this is the way you always do it. And I was kind of putting you on the spot a little bit, right? I'm like, I'm kind of being the firefighter cop thing with you. I'm like, just tell me what the hell how much is it, man? Don't give me this bull crap about it being a program and enrolling me and all this, right? So just ask. I would tell you that from what I was getting from you right there is more about the questions, right? Because you can poke holes in another firefight. If a cop tells me that this is too expensive, they're lying to me, right? Because I know what they spend for lunch. I know what they're spending when they're out driving around. I know how much they're spending. And if they're a day shifter, they're spending easily $20, $25 a day, right? Because they're going, unlike firefighters, we actually have to get out there and work. So we got to be out on the street, right? So we got to go to, so we're going to breakfast, grabbing something, then going to the QT and grabbing something, then going to lunch and grabbing something, and then
Sounds like you guys eat a lot.
on the way home, and then probably and then when we get home, it's just time to eat, right? So day shifters are the worst. And I think that most of us, we talk to people that are in the office world and they lie to us, right? So let's flip this around, Michael, real quick, and then we're going to wrap this up. So you're my guy. You've called me up.
Okay.
Let's go.
All right. So what's the story here?
What do you want?
Oh, I gotta lose a bunch of weight. I'm getting too heavy. I've been on the job for a while. I gotta lose weight.
How much?
I gotta lose like at least 60 pounds.
Well, what do you need to lose? Why do you need to lose the weight? You've had it for a long time. So why do you need to lose it now?
Because I'm coming to grips with the type of job I do, and I want to be around for my family and my son.
All right. Is it costing you some money, or you got medical problems, or what?
Yeah. I've been going to the doctor. I got back issues. I got things. So it's.
How often do you have to go to the doctor, man? That sounds tough.
Well, do I got to sign a HIPAA form with this, or what?
No, man. I'm just curious.
I'm just joking around. I go to the doctor pretty often. More than a regular person should.
Right. So, I mean, how is that affecting your life, man?
Oh, it sucks.
Right. How you have to take off work and stuff to do that, or?
Sometimes.
Wow. Man, that's got to be tough on your family taking off all that time, right?
Yeah.
Right. So what is it? If you lose this weight, then what's your goal, man?
What's that?
What's your goal if you lose this weight? I mean, what are you wanting to do? Are you trying to get to a certain goal weight?
Yes.
Okay. So you basically you're just talking about this just to kind of improve your quality of life.
Yeah. I want to be healthier. I want to be able, do my job better. So.
Right. Will you be able to work like more job? Will you be able to get like more job hours in? Then you can make some more money if you can work more.
I can. Sure. I can do some. I do overtime no matter what. So that's not really the thing. I just want to be able to do my job better.
Yeah. I know some guys that had that, and like if they get sick, then they can't work the overtime and stuff, So I know that's tough. Right. So when you're talking about what are you spending now? Are you using any nutrition now?
No, I'm not. Unless you call Starbucks and McDonald's nutrition.
Right. How about Costco stuff or no protein shakes or nothing like that?
No, I don't use any of that.
Okay. Are you trying to eat organic or any of that kind of stuff? Have you done any of that?
Organic? No.
No? Okay. Are you interested in kind of like learning like a different lifestyle, or you just want I
got to do something. I got to lose weight. So whatever you tell me, I got to do something. So
yeah, but I
trust you. So
I know that, bro. I mean, you wouldn't call me if you wouldn't trust me, but I'm asking, my question to you is it, if you're trying to do this, are you looking for a quick fix or you're wanting something serious?
Of course, the faster the better, but yeah, no, I understand it's going to be in the long haul.
Okay, because I can get you hooked up with a group of people. We got a big group, and so I can get you connected with them. And they talk about a lifestyle change. You're talking about losing 60 pounds, right? I mean, you didn't gain 60 pounds overnight. So this is going to be it's going to take a while to do that. And you're going to have to talk about a lifestyle change. So you're going to have to talk about organic, and you're going to have to start learning that vocabulary that, most cops and firefighters laugh about, right?
Right.
So, because like organic stuff and stuff like that costs more.
Yeah, it definitely costs more.
What are you doing? I don't know what she's doing behind me. Oh, the fan?
Telling you to stop picking on me.
So, but anyway, so you see where we're going with this, Michael?
Yeah, no, I know. You're asking all the questions and I'm answering instead of me just pounding on you.
Yeah.
How much this is and what's going on.
Right. So where I would go with that, right, is I would ask more, because what I'm trying to set you up for there is when we get to the point where you start saying, when we really start talking about price and you saying, hey, look, this is expensive, then I can say, look, here's the deal. You're telling me this stuff's expensive, but you're telling me that you're having to lose time at work. You're telling me that there's jobs that you're missing out on because you're not doing it. You're telling me that you're spending money over the counter. You're telling me that you're spending money for medications with your doctor. you're telling me that you're spending money on Starbucks, and you're telling me you're spending money at McDonald's, and you're telling me that you're ready for a lifestyle change. Brother, I can't help you if you're not willing to spend $4 for a shake. And that's but you've got to learn you've got to know the person that you're talking to well enough to kind of have, like, I'm talking to you like I talk to any other firefighter, cop, somebody I know, right? And I'm not kidding, guys. I have these conversations because I have people tell me it's too expensive. I got a guy that I just signed up last week. He wouldn't do this for 3 years. For 3 years, I've been talking to this guy, right? So I finally got him to go, but I'd have these conversations with him. And I don't know who I think I sent the message. I might have showed it to Dan when we were at NYKO, and the message I can read it back to you. This is no bullshit. This is what I sent him, right? And then we're going to hang up. But I'm going to tell you exactly what I said to this guy. And but it's important to know people, because if you know them, then you can have real questions. We can have real conversations with them. So I go, dude, you've been pushing this off for 3 years. Just get signed up. And I used an explicative that started with an F and ended with an R, right? Because I'm like, it's time, right? But again, you can't have that conversation with somebody that you haven't had conversation with. I mean, I guarantee I've talked to this guy, I don't know, 20 times about this program in over 2 years. So don't feel bad when you're not getting them signed up. But seriously, guys, you got to have those longer conversations. You've got to find out what it is that they want. Otherwise, you're going to beat your head against the wall, and you're not going to get there.
Hey, you guys. So one way I explain it to people is a canister of shakes is $40, and there's 14 meals in there. So 14 meals for $40, and then that really kind of opens their eyes that way, because they don't really realize it. And we can say, oh yeah, a shake is less than $4, but they're still not doing the math in their head. So if you literally, at some of my tastings, I'll hold up a canister and say, this is $40, but there's 14 meals in here. I spend $40 for Grace and I to go out for dinner, So there's so many different ways to explain it and to talk to people about it. You just gotta kind of get in the groove with it, But yeah.
If you ever heard me present it, I always, I always say there's 56 of you're supposed to eat 90 meals a month. 56 of your 90 meals are here, right? So when I say it's $10 a day, I'm talking about $10 a day is 2 meals, snacks, and a cleanse system, right? For $10 a day. And then, if you're talking the $15 a day or $20 a day or whatever, but we'll go over this some more. We'll go over this more, guys. I hope this was helpful. Again, we've been on quite a lot longer time than we usually do, so I'm going to wrap it up. But I think that this type of question and answer is valuable. I hope that you guys felt like it was as well. And let's keep it going. And we'll let's see. Oh, Jillian, our newest executive to Team Shady, will be co-hosting the call next Tuesday. So she's going to help us out. She's got to get over some of her talking in public issues anyway. So this will be your opportunity, Jillian. You're on like our version of Hollywood Squares right here. So we appreciate you volunteering. It's awesome. So we'll figure out a topic, right? So I was going to do Monday calls and Tuesday calls, guys, but I think we'll just stick with the Tuesday calls. Quite honestly, if they're on Team Shady and they're not interested in the 90-day challenge, they're going to listen to it anyway. So we're going to talk 90-day challenge all on Tuesdays, and that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about successes. We're going to talk about problems that people have during the week, and we'll try to, but again, I apologize, we took it a little bit longer today, but we won't do that in the future. So we'll stay with the hour, okay? Cool. Jillian, you on? Thanks for volunteering.
Oh, awesome. No problem.
All right, so catch up on week 2 of that 6-week plan and week 3. So get yourself familiar with week 2 and week 3, and we'll go from there. Everybody that has not got your vision boards done, get them done.
Team Life Changer has a vision board party on Thursday.
Say that again.
We have a vision board party on Thursday.
Cool. All right. Anybody else got any events that they want to announce?
2 consultants
Say it again.
I said we all got it by next week. We can do it.
That's right. Get them done. Danny, hang on. Go ahead, Danny. It's not Diana, it's Diane.
Yeah, we just want to let everybody know that collectively with Cora, we're having an event this Sunday, and we're just hoping to get a good turnout and change some lives.
Okay, give your city that you're in, so not everybody knows.
Fenton, Michigan.
Okay, if anybody else, and I know that we've got a lot of Michigan people on here, but if there's anybody that isn't aware, or if you know anybody in that area, then send them up that way and they'll take care of them for you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Okay. There's a Super Saturday coming up here in Phoenix. That's this Saturday. There's also the deal that's coming up in Chicago. So be aware that that's going on. Tracy says UIA is March 4th. That's a University in Action. Real quick, University in Action means that you're actually doing stuff. You're going to be talking to people. You're going to be doing more back and forth. You're going to be changing chairs. You're going to be meeting all kinds of people. If you go with people, you will never sit with them if you're doing it right. And if you're going with people and you sit with them the whole time, you did it wrong and you waste. And in my opinion, you could have done more with your time. So University in Action is really, really valuable. It's probably one of the best leadership trainings I've ever taken. And I think I've taken quite a few. University in Action, that's how that works. And then there's the ISA University. ISA University is more of a lecture type environment where they just are going to tell you stuff. You're not as, you'll do some, moving around and stuff, but not nearly as much as a University in Action. Okay. All right, everybody.
Real quick, can I get a shout out? I want to give a shout out to Kennedy Franklin. He joined the group tonight. He's one of my enrollees, and he came onto the forum tonight. So I want to give a shout out to Kennedy for showing up. That's real impressive. I appreciate you coming out.
Absolutely, man. Thanks for joining us. That's awesome, especially just being brand new to the team.
And also, if anybody's gonna be in the Chicago area, Marlene just bought her tickets, so she's road tripping. She's from Chicago, and she wants to start a Chicago group. Her brother's gonna be joining, maybe some other friends of his, and maybe another family member. So if anybody's going to Chicago, get a hold of Marlene.
Bob, have Marlene get in touch with Michael. That's where he's at. The event's actually being held in the same town that he's a firefighter in.
All right.
So he can kind of connect that way.
Absolutely.
Vicky has a bunch of people going. So just know that you guys are all, connected. And I encourage you to, if you want to try to pull off a launch party or something, Michael, that'd be a great time for you to set a launch if you've got the ability to set one the day after or the day before. If you can do that, that'd be fantastic. And we can get you some support through your team to make it as make as many people there as possible.
Okay, sounds good. I'll do that.
Sweet, I like it.
Let's do it, Michael.
Vicky, can you support that?
Yes, I can.
Sweet.
Michael, you know what? One other thing. So I was talking to Pete about a good friend of his the other day, and it's a firefighter. He's really, 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 really overweight. He's not even on the job anymore because of his back and his knees and everything else that goes along with being heavy. And I said, Pete, we got to talk to him. And he's like, I don't know. And I was like, honey, I said, don't you feel obligated? I'm like, he is your good friend. I'm like, I can't even look at him without my heart breaking. I'm like, we need to talk to him. So I feel like we have this obligation to share what we have learned. And if they take it or not, you know what? We at least tried. And I think that's what this is all about, is just sharing the love. That's why I say it all the time. Share the love. Share the ice of love, and let's go.
Absolutely. I like it.
Mike, are you going to Super Saturday?
Super Chat, what is it coming up?
Yeah, that's the one that's February 13th. That's the one we were referring to.
I gotta be honest, I gotta look that up. I gotta see what's going on. I think
Firehouse.
yeah, I think what's that?
To your fire, far from it.
She wants to know how far it is from your.
I'm sorry, your computer's breaking up, or I can't hear you.
She wants to know how far it is from your firefight, from your firehouse.
Where is it? I think it's in Burr Ridge or somewhere like that, or.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, when you live in Chicago, everything's a half hour away. So,
Michael, you and I talked about this. It's February 13th.
okay. I gotta check my calendar again to make sure. But if I'm not working, I'll be there.
Okay.
And then set your launch either the day before. Well, it'd probably be better to set it the day before than versus. Well, I mean, I guess you could set on Valentine's Day if you held it early enough. That wouldn't get in the way of too much if you did it before. But you guys coordinate offline and set up a good time. So if you'll get with Vicki and Michael, you and Marlene get with Vicki and Michael and Jessica, and you guys kind of set up a time that you guys can talk about setting up that launch party for Michael. That'd be great. All right, we're gonna wrap it up, guys. It's been too long. So thanks very much for joining us. And if you guys got any questions or anything else, just send them to me offline and we'll get them rocking and rolling. But again, thanks very much for being on here, guys. It means a lot. Good night.
See ya.
See ya.